Yes, party people. As the old saying goes,
Must be Tuesday.
and that it is. Down in Sports Talk in the building. Myself, Left-Handed at RMDS on Twitter, otherwise known as this. I'm in the building as usual with my co-D. You know what I mean? Yadabear's in the house, holding it down. We got a lot of things to talk about. It's Tuesday night. As we do, we give it up. We may go a little overtime tonight. We may have the icon Windwalker in the house. I invited some Laker fans to come through. The link is on the Down in Sports Talk page on Facebook. Come through. Let us know what you think. We definitely going to get into a lot of things. We'll talk about JJ Redick.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about who do we think is the greatest living baseball player right now? Okay, we're going to get into that. We might sneak a little football talk in there. You know, Rowski's threatening the rest of the NFC East, as you can see by his shirt. She's threatening the rest of the NFC East. You know what I mean? So you already know what it is. So we're in the building.
Yes.
I'm here. Yadabear's in the building. The icon probably is at another store opening or something like that. You know how he give it up. Rowski, what's good? How are you? How you be?
You know, chilling, relaxing. We are now, entering the dog days of summer for all my baseball fans. This is the meat and potatoes, of the season is coming up. You got, All-Star break is coming up soon. A lot of All-Star voting happening. And, we're getting ready for the NBA draft, snuck up on us.
Oh, man.
Tomorrow, yeah. It's
Fooey.
What's so crazy? I didn't realize that the draft was tomorrow until I talked to my friend earlier. He's like, "So what do you think we're going to do tomorrow?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like,
right.
I said, "Oh, wow." I said, "Wait a minute. It is tomorrow." And that's how bad this draft class is that it slipped our mind. It's like NBA draft. Whoop, went over our heads,
Like, and to keep it so green with you, Browski, we don't front over here down in sports. It is what it is. We can't name 10 players in this NBA draft. And that's set.
Nope.
Listen, can you? You know what I'm saying? Not you, Browski, but the people be, you sports talkers. I mean, there's a couple people from France.
Yeah.
I mean, but we'll get into that. But here's what we're gonna jump off the show with, because we're gonna be here for a minute. When I heard about this, like it took me back to a space. It took me back to a space. It took me back to when Steve Nash was hired as the Brooklyn Nets head coach. There was a lot of vitriol. It was a lot of vitriol going on.
Yes.
A lot. Fast forward to 2024. Here we have JJ Redick, former basketball player, NBA, played at Duke. You know what I mean? Very, very allegedly knowledgeable about the game from the inside out, from an analyst perspective, from a player's perspective first, right?
Mm-hmm.
And from an analytical perspective. From the head coaching perspective, not so much. We're going to go in on this tonight because, again, I think the basic premise of the conversation is that there are other coaches who are more qualified, right? But we're going to get into the other stuff. Like, because me, in my personal opinion, and let me rock, let me cook right here, Browski. Let me cook. JJ Redick got hired on the strength of his big mouth. And I don't necessarily mean that in a negative way. I just mean it in the way that he got on First Take. He was being known for, to me, in my opinion, from how I looked at it, was shutting Stephen A. Smith down in regards to NBA. Because first of all, he's a player. He's coming from a perspective of, I was on the court. I was in between the lines, right? Stephen A.'s coming from the journalist perspective, which is cool. He was lighting Stephen A. Smith up straight like that. So he got a little, a little publicity, a little momentum. You know what I mean? His name started to be bandied about. Then, came the analyst thing. Now he's an analyst now, analyzing the games and stuff like that. But you mean to tell me the powers that be at the crypto.com arena, or whatever they call it today, their best option was JJ Redick? Like, with their whole scenario going on, Browski, from the LeBron thing to the Anthony Davis thing to the who they gonna keep to the who they gonna let go thing. It's like it's a whole it's a shitstorm. They used to say that on CNN, so I'm gonna say it over here. Like for real. And you don't expect that out of an organization as history laden as the Los Angeles Lakers, right? And I'm interested to see and interested to hear, and I put it out there for those Laker fans that rock with us. My man Slate, Kia, wherever you are, Coach Lonnie Knox, OG Wood. I'm calling your names. We don't do the subliminals over here. We call names out. Those are Laker fans who I highly respect. You know what I mean? And like Browski said, we was behind the scenes earlier. They've been conspicuous in their absence and in their lack of opinion. And Windwalker, he's a Laker fan. So I mean, they're acting like Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. We don't see them nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
It's been very quiet.
Go ahead, Browski. What's your thoughts on the Lakers and JJ Redick?
I definitely agree with you. It has been very quiet and within the Laker nation, Lakers fan base about this hiring. When they was first bringing up his name as a candidate, I already said that's
wild. A couple of months ago, right?
Yeah, I said that's wild. That's crazy to even consider this guy to be a candidate, to be a head coach candidate in the NBA when this guy hasn't coached on any level.
Right. It was like a joke.
He hasn't coached anything. I didn't see him on any benches.
Any celebrity games?
He haven't even coached an NBA All-Star celebrity game. Okay.
Right.
Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp had more coaching experience
than JJ Redick. Let's go, Browski.
Okay. If we're gonna be real about it, and like you said, the powers that be, up there in LA, his connection with LeBron. It's like as soon as you get a podcast with LeBron, now all of a sudden he's a coaching prospect. That's wild to me.
Right.
Like, how do you, sit in the booth? You call a couple of games. You've been on ESPN, and now all of a sudden you the golden boy in LA. It's like we need JJ. If we don't get JJ, I don't know what's going to happen. But as we was talking behind the scenes, it's because LA is not a premier coaching
destination.
You don't want to coach in LA anymore.
Nope.
We've seen the track record. You can even win the championship and then have a not even a terrible season, just a so-so season, and then you get fired the following year. Right now, since Phil Jackson, matter of fact, it's back since Luke Walton. He was there the longest. He was there for 4 years.
Wow.
After that, it's been 2. And now you think that somebody, like Dan Hurley, like why do you think he rejected the job? Where I can stay in UConn, have everything I want, do whatever I want, be there as long as I want.
Right. That's right.
And or go to LA and
get fired in 2 years.
Super spotlight. The pressure is on you. You don't really have any draft pick. You have an old team.
That's right.
Okay, a team that has been living in the play-in for the past couple of years.
That's right. That they star player didn't even want.
Exactly. And then someone, and then a Laker fan will say, well, we was in the conference, finals, 2 seasons ago. All right, that's cool, but as we say on this show, what have you done for me lately?
Yeah.
Because all thing I've been seeing is a revolving door of coaches, mediocre play, paying mediocre players like Austin Reeves money that he's not really deserving of. If you really want to be real with it, an aging superstar and LeBron James that y'all are trying to keep, another superstar that can't stay on the court,
Right.
Ownership that looks like they don't know what they're doing.
They don't.
A GM who really looks like he don't really have that much power because their star player, their superstar, gave all their young talent away a couple years ago to bring in one guy. And then he bring in all this up, and they bring in all this old talent over the cap. You don't really have the money, don't have the draft picks, so it's crazy. As I told you before, the Lakers are turning out to be the Dallas Cowboys of basketball. Bad ownership, bad coaching,
living in the past.
You always want to talk about your titles, but it's like, what have you done since 2020? And a lot of people question that title. And then after you won that title, what you do? You go fire the coach,
right?
Which is wild to me.
What else you got to do?
So to bring in JJ with zero experience and expecting him to be successful, to me, that's kind of like, it's kind of asinine. It is wild.
It's
so
backwards.
So what I'm looking forward to next season is all of JJ's former colleagues giving him all the smoke. I don't want to hear no excuses on ESPN, NBA TV, NBA Tonight, First Take, Get Up. I don't want to hear no excuses from none of them guys. I want all them guys to be on X, typing all the smoke that they give everybody. I need all the questions to be asked, and that's on those press conferences. And like we were saying before, what's going to happen when the Lakers are on let's say a 5 to 10 game losing streak, right? And they're in a tight game and they're trying to win this game. They're trying to break this losing streak. And JJ's in the huddle drawing up a play. And you see LeBron looking at the play and turning his head and looking back. And then they walk onto the court and you see LeBron talking to AD and Austin Reed and all them guys. And he's saying, we're not running that play. That play whack. This is what we're going to do.
That's going to happen a few times.
So what's going to be the excuse when LeBron starts overstepping his head coach, because
they're going to trade him?
He looking like they ain't going to trade LeBron. They'll fire JJ before
they'll fire JJ
Redick. Okay, so we already know that.
Fire JJ Redick.
They get JJ out of here before LeBron going anywhere. But I just need to know what's the conversation in that press conference going to be like when those questions are asked. When we clearly can see that LeBron is disengaged with JJ. How they going to have a podcast? They can't have a podcast anymore. You can't have a podcast with your head coach.
Yeah, that's kind of a, I don't know, but
it's going to be interesting. It's going to be wild.
It adds to the weirdness of what goes on and what's happening out there, man. You know what I mean? They used to be above board. The Lakers used to be a pristine organization, above reproach. You know what I mean? You could always count on them to be in the thick of the Western Conference, always count on them to bring, class to the league and all that good stuff right there. But now it's just like the Lakers, nobody wants to deal with them. They're regular schmegler now, which is a shame, and it says a lot. And I think that you put the bow on the package when you said, I'm interested to see what his peers are going to say. Now, I'm interested to hear what his peers think right now.
I mean, they are very quiet. Like, I haven't seen anything on X. They talked about it very briefly on First Take and Get Up. It wasn't like a huge topic. You know, we talking about the Los Angeles Lakers, you know, a historic franchise. And they're getting a coach with zero coaching experience. Coaching what many look at right now as one of the best players in the world. And LeBron James, he has a coach with zero experience.
He's the self-proclaimed king, best ever.
Well, no, he didn't. He didn't put that title on him. The media gave him that title first. He just took it and ran with it.
And well, he got it.
Well, now, but I mean, I can't. I'm not gonna go down the LeBron hate train.
Right.
Okay, because this is about JJ, and we're gonna have plenty of time to criticize.
Oh yeah, it's going down. It's going down.
Yeah,
it's going down. JJ Redick, Lakers head coach. You know, we'll see what goes on. I mean, I think the drama is going to probably start. Like, you know, the NBA draft is going to be interesting now all of a sudden.
Because
now JJ Redick is in the middle of that, you know, that war room. Like, what are they going to do? What are they doing?
Are they going to draft Bronny? Are they going to draft LeBron James Jr.? Here's my thing. Is LeBron going to be at the draft with his son sitting in that green room? And with him sitting there, is that going to put pressure on teams to draft Bronny? Because, again, LeBron has not signed any extension with the Lakers yet. So, having LeBron in that green room with Bronny, is that going to put added pressure for a team to say, you know what, make the calling Bronny and then saying pass the phone to your dad and say, listen, if we draft your son, are you coming with him?
That'd be the most
that's the only thing that's going to make this
be the most gangster. You know what I mean? LeBron sitting in the green room with Bronny, and all the teams, like the teams that are having the pick. He looking at them, they looking at him like, oh man, what we gonna do? You know what I mean? Because we got so and so, and who is this guy in the NBA draft? The biggest name you got in the NBA draft, Bronny James, and he averaged what, 4 points at USC?
4 points at USC.
And then 1 year he was there, coming off of a health issue,
cardiac arrest.
Oh man, what are we doing, yo? You know what I mean?
So that right there is what going to make the draft interesting. It's not going to be about the players,
right?
It's going to be about if we draft LeBron James Jr., are we going to get senior? That's going to be what this draft about, and that's what everybody's going to watch, because they're not going to be watching about, you know, people getting drafted at first. Nobody cares about getting drafted.
Nobody cares about them dudes.
Nobody cares.
Let's keep it. Nobody cares.
Let me tell you, nobody cares about any other prospect, because the big media market, they don't care either. They didn't talk about it all. I haven't seen a commercial hyping up the draft.
Right? I haven't seen no commercial. Last year, all you saw was commercials about Victor Wembanyama and the NBA draft.
Specials, you saw
everything. Now you don't see nothing.
I didn't see not one commercial, one advertisement about the NBA draft, and that's telling. That's telling.
We in the building, man, down in Sports Talk. Myself and my co-D Yadabear in the house doing what we do on Tuesday nights. We're gonna revisit this JJ Redick thing because you know, that's an easy lick right there. Let me show some love to Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers, yo. Y'all did what y'all had to do. That's all I can say. Like you had, it was like you can have the easy way. You can do it the easy way, or you can do it the hard way. I mean, you was doing it the easy way. You was up 3-0. You had Edmonton back at their heels. Connor McDavid had no points. Leon Draisaitl was a non-factor, right? Then all of a sudden, the Edmonton Oilers back was against the wall. And they're like, nah, we're not having this. They won game 4. They won game 5. They won game 6. Like, now we go back to Florida for game 7 when all the pressure is on everybody.
Yeah.
If Florida wins, okay, you came back. Great story. Whoop-de-whoop. If Edmonton would have won that Stanley Cup last night, you would have never heard the end of it.
Oh,
and
it would have been the biggest.
Right, Canada has not had a Stanley Cup in 31 years.
Yeah, and then to come back from 03?
Yeah.
What?
Because if you remember, we were talking last year in the playoffs when the Boston Bruins had a 3-0 lead on the Florida Panthers. And the Florida Panthers came back and beat them.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But I wanted to just give the hockey people some shine. Salute to y'all. Great season by the Panthers. Great season by my New York Rangers. President's Trophy. You know the story about that. What else did I want to say about the hocky thing?
How crazy that didn't Connor McDavid win like the MVP or something like that?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like
that's
I
crazy.
have read that like it's crazy that he won it on a losing effort, but a lot of people were stating like the goalie from Florida should have won it.
Yeah, Bobrovsky.
Yeah, a lot of people was so angry about that. I seen that.
They was giving Bobrovsky some grief when they were losing because he was standing on his head in the first 3 games of that series. Then all of a sudden they lost game 4. Then they got killed in game 5. It was like, Bobrovsky, like, you know what I mean? They're getting to him now. But again, that's the sign of they are killing Garrett Cole, yo. That's the sign of a great, goaltender, man. They got the cup. And salute to Kyle Okposo. He played 17 years. Got his cup. He played in Buffalo for a long time. A great player. One of us. Got his get his name on the Stanley Cup. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's dope. So salute to Florida Panthers Stanley Cup champion. And that's how we give it up over here. We're gonna talk about it a little bit, but we talk about it.
Talk about it.
Now we're gonna move on, you know what I'm saying? And we're gonna talk about who we think is the greatest living baseball player today, right now. We just lost Willie Mays recently. I think that I was talking to Yadabear, and I said, well, Willie Mays was like, for me, the beginning. I remember him when he was on the Mets. I don't remember him playing for the New York Giants and the Polo Grounds and all that. I remember he was on the Mets. I remember when the Mets was in the World Series in 1973. I remember Willie Mays was like the older guy. You know what I mean? He wasn't really producing like that. He was the older guy. They always, held him in high regards and reverence. As of today, for me, the greatest living baseball player is there's a few of them. There's a lot of them around. Sandy Koufax is still around. Of course, Pete Rose is still around. Rod Carew is still around. Mickey Henderson is still around. Nolan Ryan is still around. Barry Bonds. I mean, the case goes on. But for me, it's a matter of it might be personal. You know what I mean? Because again, for me, when you ask about who's the greatest living baseball player, wow, I know really remember Sandy Koufax. He's the oldest, and I don't remember him. Okay, I think would begin with Pete Rose. Pete Rose is 83. So, is he the greatest living baseball player? Pete Rose. He got the most hits, and not in the Hall of Fame, right? But is he the greatest living baseball player? I don't know.
I mean, if you go by the numbers, he has an argument. But like when you talk about Willie Mays, with me, I never really seen Pete Rose play like that.
Okay.
So to me, the greatest living baseball player is Ken Griffey Jr.
Okay.
To me,
okay, I like that.
I've seen this guy play from. From the beginning when he first got called up, it's like, yo, this guy is.
And listen, and they beat LeBron and them to the punch because he was playing in the same outfield with his father.
Yeah,
him and his father were back to back in the game against the Angels.
Yeah, so seeing that, I my eyes always went to Ken Griffey Jr. Okay. I always loved the way that he played. When he to me, he can hit anything. You know, him coming up to the plate, I'm waiting for a hit, and I wasn't always looking for home runs. It was just seeing him getting on base, seeing him steal bases, seeing just seeing him out there. I liked how he played in the outfield.
Yeah, if Ken Griffey Jr. didn't get hurt,
yeah,
the home
you
run
imagine his
would
numbers?
definitely been obliterated.
And that's the part. That's the part I was going to get to. Like, if he never got hurt, his numbers. Could you imagine them things would skyrocket? And I would have also put Barry Bonds in this category, but the Barry Bonds that I would look at is the Pittsburgh Pirates.
The skinny Barry Bonds.
Yes, when he was stealing bases, when he's 30-30 guy, that guy, not the home run guy, when he was out there playing the field, getting on base, stealing bases, like that Barry Bonds. But I would still go Griffey over Bonds as greatest living baseball player.
Coming from that perspective, because I equate that to like I said, I don't remember like guys like Sandy Koufax and Willie Mays. So I would gravitate more towards Soto just hit a home run. I'll gravitate more towards
Bryce Harper just hit a home run.
A Ricky Henderson or a Nolan Ryan. I saw those guys. I remember those guys. Like I said, a Rod Carew. You know what I mean? A Johnny Bench.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A Reggie Jackson.
You know
what I'm saying?
Dave Walker. We can go Derek Jeter.
Jeter.
There's a lot of great.
The greatest.
Yeah, the greatest is very hard to just.
That's crazy.
Because, like you said, you have a guy like Sandy Koufax who's still alive that people will consider the greatest. Then you have a guy like Pete Rose, nobody broke his hitting right. He has the most hits.
Yeah, 4,256.
He has the most hits in baseball, and not in the Hall of Fame.
Not in the Hall of Fame.
But you can't take away that record.
You can't deny it.
You can't deny that at all. And then but then you got guys like you got Reggie Jackson, you got guys like that, you got the Ken Griffey's,
and some of these new kids will say A-Rod.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So and that's why we like to have these conversations, because it's generational, yo. You know what I mean? Who's the greatest living baseball player? You'll get it'll run the gamut, because I like what you said about Ken Griffey Jr. and you're right.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And then you'll look at somebody else, and someone would say Ichiro, Yeah. And then when we talk about Ichiro, we gotta go back to Japan, because his numbers in Japan was even more outrageous than his number here in the league. So it's so many different ways.
They added Ichiro's international numbers. The all-time best baseball players would be Ichiro and Josh Gibson.
Ichiro and then Josh Gibson and then everybody else. Because that's right. Numbers is crazy.
That's right. But, who do you guys think is the greatest living baseball player? There's really no wrong answer, man. You know what I mean? And unless you say no disrespect, unless you say like Walter Weiss or something like that. I mean, then you bug it out. But let us know who you think is the greatest living baseball player, and we'll chop it up, but we'll get at you about that. Now we in the show where we just gonna relax and chill right now, man. You know what I mean? It's summertime, official things happening outside. Everybody's outside. What's your summer plans looking like there, Browski? I know you got some things that you get ready to get into.
Yeah, next month, we're going away on a little vacation.
All right.
Taking the trip, to the islands to get some of that island sun, come back, get some of that island sun on me, let that island sun bless me. All right. But other than that, just real chill, staying out the way. try to get some of these baseball games in, and enjoying the Olympics. I love the Olympics.
Okay.
So I love the summer and the winter games. I love track and field. Shout out to Sha'Carri Richardson, for qualifying with one of the fastest times in the women's 100 meters. Shout out to her. Shout out to all which is amazing. I believe I think it's either the 100 or 200 that her and the other two ladies that she trains with, they all made the team. Okay. So that was amazing to see. I gotta look at swimming. You got Simone Manuel, qualifying. She's one of us, one of the only ones out there swimming. Already medal in the last Olympics. Of course, gymnastics. The greatest gymnastics athlete ever, Simone Biles. Going back out for the Olympics. So it's very exciting. It should be a pretty good summer. It's crazy that both of the ladies on the USA 3-on-3 basketball team are hurt. Ryan Howard done for the season,
and Cameron Brink, right?
Yeah. So that was sad to see. They did announce that the chick from LA, last name Dansbury, she's going to replace Cameron. They didn't say who's going to replace Ryan yet. I'm interested in seeing, USA basketball, both sides, men and women. This is a very interesting men's team. Got a lot of stars on here, but sometimes having big names doesn't really equal wins and international, because it's a whole nother ball game, and the rest of the world has caught up with the States. I mean, because if you look, the last couple MVPs has been foreign-born players.
Yep.
So the world has caught up. You have teams like Team Canada that has a really good team.
A B squad. They got a B squad.
Canada is.
Yep.
That's one of the teams to look out for. And then, you always got Greece, the French team, Lithuania, those countries, Serbia, they have players now. So it should be interesting.
No joke. That's right.
On the men's side. On the women's side, though, USA has always reigned supreme over the rest of the world regarding to women's basketball. Hopefully they can keep that trend going. But again, the world is now really catching up on the women's side too, because we have a couple, excellent foreign-born players in the WNBA right now also. So it should be interesting to see the growth of women's sports international on the basketball level, internationally. So I love the Olympics again, So that's what I'm really going to be looking at, during the summertime, in between, of course, baseball. What about your summer vibes? What's going on with you?
Oh man, it's you already know it's the season. So it's gonna be in the parks. You know what I mean? Making it do what it do. Trying to stay safe first of all.
Always.
You know what I mean? But my question for the Olympics, everything that you mentioned is definitely on point. I want to know what type of music or what beats they're gonna be playing when they be breakdancing. When they do the breakdance competition in the Olympics.
Facts.
I want to know that's what I want to know. I want to know what beats they gonna be playing. I don't want to hear none of this Olympic stuff that they be trying to breakdance to, like
some new stuff, right? So
I had no idea what they would be playing.
So make up stuff, right?
You know what I'm saying?
On the spot, like bro. I need
banging on the lunch table is it? You know what I mean? I'm very interested to see what beats they're gonna be playing while these cats is out here doing their thing. I think that's a very, very big move that the Olympics, for how highbrow that they keep it, they allow breakdancing in the Olympics.
And also, what time is that going to be aired? Because how the Olympics are really funny with the time. It doesn't matter. Like we said, we could talk about USA basketball. They could be playing the game 3:00 in the morning, our time. So they don't care about the times over here. So that's going to be interesting to see. Like, are we going to get a primetime breakdance? And also, I have to mention flag football.
They're gonna flag. That's crazy. They're gonna treat the Paris Olympics is gonna treat hip hop like everybody else treat hip hop. The breakdancing competition will probably be on at 12:00 in the morning, at 1:00, 2:00 in the morning for 2 minutes.
And it's gonna be on. It's gonna be on a weird network too. It's gonna be on a weird network. Like you're gonna be like, what channel is this? I have this.
Man, the summer's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be interesting to watch the Yankees do their thing with the Orioles. That race in the AL East is gonna be crazy, but all the races in baseball is gonna be crazy. Like Brasky mentioned earlier in the show, the dog days of summer are upon us.
Upon us, man.
Are definitely upon us, show, and we definitely gonna pay attention to that and keep up with the NBA draft. Just got a little bit interesting.
You
know what I mean? The WNBA, we're gonna keep up with that. We're gonna keep up with the Big Three. That started a couple of weeks ago. I watched a couple of games. You know what I mean? Just to kind of like keep abreast of what's going on. I heard one of the teams in the Big Three actually was sold or bought. However they do that. They either sell it or they buy it. Ice Cube sold the team, and somebody else bought the team for $10 million. So
that's crazy to me.
Yeah, salute to Cube, man. Because Friday, I guess the last Friday is back in full effect because they switched some situations over there at the movie studio. So they said Chris Rock is thinking about coming back and doing a
Chris Tucker?
Thing. No, Chris Tucker. My bad, Chris Rock.
Chris back.
Tucker is going to do his thing, and DC Young Fly is supposed to be his son. So
I can see that.
You know what I mean? So I hope it's going to be dope, man. For me, my favorite Friday is always the first one.
The first one is always the
first
best.
one is an all-time classic. The other two, for me, I watch them. They're all right. They fun. They have their moments, but I don't really connect with them like I do the first one because I got so many scenes in that first one. But people that you know me, my scene from Friday, the original Friday, is Burning Mac. That's it. You know what I mean? And so, excuse me, Brother Craig. Sister Jones. You need Mother Jones. What we call drugs at the 74th Street Baptist Church, we call us citizens sin. I'm gonna say, around here, the tree dog and Weston, we call this here little 20
Wow.
After that part, I can turn it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I know what's going to happen. But salute to Cube, man. And again, it's a long time coming, man. He's got a lot of things going on. The Big Three's going on. Salute to Kendrick Lamar. What did you think about that concert that he did last
My
last
goodness. I thought that thing was fire, man. I thought it was really dope him bringing the whole West Coast, the whole LA scene, together. Everybody putting their beef, the gangs putting their beef aside and being there. I thought it was dope seeing Dre. I thought it was super dope that Snoop called Kendrick the King of LA, which I think is well deserved for this generation. He's been doing it big for years out of LA, always repping Compton. I respect his lyrical skills. And I feel like, with him going back and forth with Drake and how he just shown how superior he was, that it just blew everybody out the water. And for him to have, a diss song like Not Like Us turn into like a super hit record that everybody
phenomenon, right?
Yeah, it's like a theme song. Like that's a theme song, you know. That's like the theme of the summer. You know how like each summer you like what's gonna be the summertime anthem?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he turned this record to the summertime anthem for this year. Everybody is rocking Not Like Us. You know, everybody. It's
right.
crazy.
Right.
So yeah. I thought it was super dope. I enjoyed it. You know, I watched it some and I was like, oh, this is a really dope concert. I like how his stage was set up, so he get everybody got both.
That was different. I like how they did it.
Yeah, I like that. It was like everybody could see him.
Yeah, I like that. I like
yeah,
that.
So it wasn't like you didn't have a bad seat in the house. Like
that's right.
Everybody saw everything on stage. So I thought that was really cool for them to have. So yeah.
I thought that that's what LA, the West Coast, that's what they needed. You know what I mean? Because and I'm in the minority when people say LA, specifically LA, the West Coast, they don't get respect. I feel like they do, but maybe I don't know. It's maybe they're 3 hours behind and they might be a little late. You know what I mean? And that's the only thing that I can figure out. Because again, there's so many crews from the West Coast that that's just me. I mean, I respect them, I admire them as much as I do cats that's over here.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and I ride for them, you know what I mean, like for real, like I'm the Alcoholics. Salute to Tash and them. You know what I mean, King T. You know what I mean, all of those dudes, man. You know what I mean. Again, maybe they don't get the props that they feel like they deserve because it's East Coast heavy. And again, those dudes, if it took a dude like Kendrick Lamar to unify what's going on and bring it to a common chord, because again, they make great music. Absolutely. Absolutely make great music. And I think that's the unity is something that New York could definitely like take notes, you know what I mean, and look at, because again, you got gangs that beef with each other, have been historically beefing with each other, coming together, under one common cause, and then you got cats that live across the street from each other in New York, ready to blow each other's heads off.
Can't
you know what I mean, over some nonsense. You know what I'm saying? So again, man, salute to Kendrick, salute to the whole LA West Coast vibe, man, the whole LA West Coast movement. Man, y'all, whether y'all, realize it or understand it or not, y'all definitely thoroughly respect it. Again, I mentioned it before, and I'll mention it again right now. Cypress Hill is one of my favorite. That's my top 5 albums of all time. Cypress Hill. Cypress Hill's album is in the top 5. My top 5 albums of all time. Cypress Hill. You know what I mean? And again, the way I gauge it is that you got more than 7 songs on there that you know word for word. That's how you gauge a classic album.
Yeah.
If there's more than 7 songs on that joint that you know word for word. You know what I mean? And every time that you hear, you know what I mean? Because I'm like that about All For One, Brand Nubian. I'm like that about Beefy High Rising, De La Soul. I'm like that about The Great Adventures of Slick Rick. And I'm like that about Bum Rush the Show, Public Enemy. Word for word. Like those are my national anthems, right? And for me, that's classic. You know what I mean? I mean, I know other albums and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But those are the ones I always am going to name. You know what I mean? I could name, Critical Beatdown, Ultramagnetic. You know what I mean? I could name Youngest in Charge, Special Ed. You know what I mean? It's a lot of albums that I like. X-Clan. You know what I mean? But those are the joints that, for me, deem classic. And I deem that Cypress Hill album a classic. Absolutely. Man on the Pump. I Could Just Kill a Man. Real Estate. Eggs. Like, yo. And you know what I mean? And salute to Be Real, man, and Send Dog, whatever. But no disrespect, but you know what it is. It's still a great album, man, and I respect Cypress to the fullest, man. And I just think that Kendrick, man, did a great thing for the West Coast, man.
Yeah.
Could that happen over here? Should it happen over? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But can it happen on a level like that? No.
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think it can happen on a level like that either.
I don't think so. Yeah.
And it's sad.
Yeah.
It's sad because you got New York, you got Philly, you got Boston, and everything in between.
Yeah.
And everything, that's everybody. The East Coast, that's everybody.
Yeah.
In between.
Yeah.
This dude brought all the crews from the West Coast.
Yep.
Gangs from the West Coast.
Yep.
Like, you know, it don't get no better than that for hip hop. And again, you know, it took Kendrick Lamar to have to go through the whatever you want to call that was with Drake. You know what I mean? And I never really, you know, gave Drake any attention or whatever, but that Not Like Us, you can't escape it. You can't escape it. The first couple of weeks it was out, I hadn't heard it. I heard about it. I just hadn't heard it. But now, you know, I'm like, oh man.
That's all you hear. That's all you hear. That's all you hear.
Yep.
Yeah.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. I mean, you know, it's what it is. You know what I mean? And now, see, they caught us. You know, well, me, I'll wear the blame on that. It is what it is. We're in the building, man. Down in Sports Talk, man. We bugging out. Hope y'all having a good time. Now is the part of the show that Browski's her favorite part of the show, where she gets to talk about her Philadelphia Phillies. And I know she's gonna bring up the fact that once again they got the best record in the league and all of this.
I mean, listen, I don't have to bring it up because we all know my philosophy. You know, it looks good now. I need it to look good in October. You know.
Where have I heard that before?
Listen. Listen. I look, the regular season, it's all fun, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But the real season, we all know the real season starts after the All-Star break and after that trade deadline, you know.
Yep.
Right now, we just filling each other out and just putting ourselves in position. I'm just happy that my team, you know, started the year out great, you know. Today, you know, we took an L. I say you can't win them all. You know, not gonna go 162-0. You know, we took an L in Detroit. It was a great pitching duel, but we just couldn't. You know, we couldn't really get any hits in. Couldn't get nothing over home plate, and that's how it is some days. But you know, we're still in first place. As long as we still got our foot on Atlanta's neck. You know,
that's what matters to you, right?
That's right. Keep them with, you know, out of reach of this NL East title. That's all I'm worrying about. This is the year that we go into the postseason, you know, as the number one seed. You know, or if we not the number one seed, as the NL East chance, and not have to worry about fighting for a wild card spot to get into the playoffs. I just want to be in the playoffs. You know, I just want a guaranteed spot to say, hey, the Phillies are in the playoffs. That's all I want. And if we can get the NL East championship on top of that, that would be great. You know, but we all say, you know, it's still early. We got the 4th of July is coming up. You know, that's when we're do one of our, you know, get one of our check-ins around to see where the league is at.
Coming up,
yep. We got that and the trade deadline. You know, to see because the league gonna shake up around that trade deadline. A lot of teams are gonna be making moves. You know, I know your team gonna probably try to make some moves. I know my team gonna try to make some moves, and I know teams that's underneath us are gonna try to make some moves to position themselves, you know, for the postseason. So we're really going to see, you know, after that trade deadline where we truly are, you know. But how you feel about your Yankees? Well, I got them on the TV right now too.
Yeah, I'm looking at them right now too. I think that, you know, we started off, you know, pretty decent. We're still decent, you know what I mean? Yeah. Garrett Cole is back. Now Stanton is out. You know, we got some, you know, of course, Anthony Rizzo. For me, Anthony Rizzo is fragile. So he stays hurt. Like I said, the summer's just beginning. It's going to be a dog fight all year long.
Yeah.
Between the Yankees and Baltimore, so it's going to be crazy. I want to try to make one of them games down there too. But looking forward to it. You talked about the trade deadline, and here's something that I was interested in talking to some of my baseball head dudes about. Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
His name
He
coming up.
always said how he would never play for the Yankees. He's recently been like, now it's just like he just wants to go play for a winner and help, and it doesn't matter where he goes. I think that two guys that I would like to see play for the Yankees, and we talked about both of them tonight. I would have loved to see Ken Griffey Jr. play for them, but he said he wasn't never playing for the Yankees. His father played for the Yankees, and he didn't appreciate how they treated him and things of that nature. So I can dig it.
Mm-hmm.
And Vladimir Guerrero Jr., when he was first coming up, they was treating him like Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
The Toronto Blue Jays was going to be, they had Guerrero, they had Bo Bichette, they had Kevon Biggio. They had the young dudes, right? But Guerrero was the guy. Guerrero was playing third base, remember?
Yes,
Guerrero
he was. Yes, he was playing third. So,
like, for me, he's always been that dude that when he comes up to the plate, you know, he's the guy that you got to look at when he's up. You know what I mean? Like his pops, is not a pitch that he will not like, that he don't like. He's swinging at everything.
He's swinging at everything,
over his head, 10 feet outside. He's swinging.
Swinging for the fences too.
And I think that you put him in a situation where he knowing that he's going to be competing every day, instead of with the Blue Jays where you're scuffling, you've been, people have been waiting for y'all, just waiting for the Blue Jays, and it never materialized. So now the time has come where Guerrero softened his stance a little bit on that New York Yankee thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we sure could use him. But my thing about Guerrero, which really is a small thing, he's a right-handed bat. If he was a left-handed bat, I'd be like, oh, let's go get this dude right now. You know what I mean?
That's a hard thing to find.
Yeah, man.
A lefty. Lefty is very rare, man.
The right field porch of Yankee Stadium is like 314. You can hit without an hand. 314.
If you can imagine Guerrero as a lefty.
Yeah. It'd be over. It'd be over. You know what I'm saying? But again, I think that these superstar guys are guys who like to profess themselves as superstars. They get tired of losing, yo. They get tired of being in a situation where they don't know what the hell is happening, what's going on, and they can't. You come up in these organizations, man, and sometimes you just got to cut the cord, bite the bullet, and say, we're gonna move on. You know what I mean? I grew here. I grew up here. I'll never forget it. You know what I mean? But I gotta go get me a ring.
Listen.
You know what I'm saying?
One of my favorite things I always say about guys that's in any of these leagues that are stars, you can get the money or you can get the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Can't get both. It's very rare that you can get both. And so far, I only see one guy get both, and that's Giannis. He got the money, and then he got the ring. Mm-hmm. But other than that, I never seen anybody else get both. So guys like Guerrero, he got to make a choice because they're going to throw the money at him to keep him
Absolutely.
There. But
absolutely.
Do you want to be?
They're going to throw the money at him.
Yeah, but do you want to be a wealthy loser?
Or a rich winner?
but look, he ain't going to be a poor winner, because he ain't poor, but you want to be a wealthy loser?
Right.
Or do you want a championship ring?
Right.
Do you want your name on a list of champions and say, oh, here's a World Series ring?
Absolutely. We in the building, man, down in Sports Talk every Tuesday night. This is how we get it in. Myself and my co-D, Yadabear, a.k.a. Kimbrowski in the house. What are we getting down on this week, Yada?
Oh, I am getting down on my girl, Angel Reese. Okay?
Uh-oh. I know what you're getting ready to say, too.
The Chi-Town Barbie double machine Reese. Okay? had a fantastic game against the Fever. 25 points, 15 rebounds, rolled her team back to a win over the Indiana Fever. And I need for them to put some respect on her name for this Rookie of the Year race, okay? Everybody keep talking about, oh, Caitlin. No. Angel Reese is number one in this rookie class. Okay? It's crazy. She's amazing on offense and on the defensive end. She's grabbing boards on both sides of the court. Again, she has the most offensive rebounds of all of the WNBA, not just among rookie of the league. You know, she's balling. Every game is like 100% effort she put out there. She lay her body on the line each game. Everybody want to talk about how Caitlin Clark gets beat up. She gets beat up down in the paint, okay? Because she's going against the likes of Alyssa Thomas, you know, who's a beast defensively. She going against Tina Charles, you know. She going up against my girl name in New York.
Who?
The center in New York. It's tip of my tongue.
But anyway,
yeah, but like
I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
she going up against the tough ones, you know.
She going against these tough women, and you know nobody's saying, "Oh, woe is me," you know, poor Angel. Oh, they should review that. No, she takes her beating, and she goes down the other end, and then she score on them, or she goes down the other end and grab the board over them. You know, so I just want to say, stop saying that Caitlin Clark has this in the bag for Rookie of the Year. Now, it's a stronger race. And I also have to say...
Jonquel Jones.
Yeah, Jonquel Jones. There we go. And I also want to say about the Fever, and I said this before, this is not the coach for them. You can clearly see she's not the coach for this Fever team. Because the way that they are playing, you know, in the past has been terrible, and now it's like now they're starting to realize that the game has to go through Aaliyah Boston. We should be seeing more pick and rolls between, you know, Mitchell and Boston, Caitlin and Boston, but we're not seeing that. It's like there's no set plays. It's like they just freestyle on the offensive end. And I think that's one of the reasons why they struggle so much, especially in the beginning of the season. You know, yes, they on a little winning streak, but those winning streaks were against lesser teams. You know, they beat the Mystics. The Mystics are struggling a lot this season. You know, they missing their best player in Elena Delle Donne. That's about 25 to 30 points that they miss in the game. You know, with her out, so that they're struggling trying to find those points. So I just feel, you know, that next season, I think the Fever may want to look, you know, to change the coaching staff. And shout out to Cheryl Swoops for being in their audience against that Sky Fever game and giving, you know, Angel her props, you know, during a game. So I like what Teaspoon is doing in Chicago. I see her vision. I see her team is following behind them. No super tough defensive team, and I just think, you know, they just gotta find a way to get Camila Cardoso going a little bit more too. But I think that will happen with time. Hopefully, you know, during the Olympic break. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure Camila made the Brazilian team, so I'm pretty sure she's gonna be playing in the Olympics. So hopefully they'll give her some more, you know, minutes on the floor to get into, you know, her rhythm, so that when she come back, we can see the Camilla that we're used to seeing, you know, in South Carolina, you know, 20 and 12, things like that. So I'm just looking forward to more, you know, women's basketball, and again, put some respect on Angel's name. Even though I know her name is out in the streets now because people saying that she out there dating G.
She out there with she out there
you know,
with G Herbo. You know what I mean?
Up in
So
Chicago, and if everybody know what's going on in Chicago and know G Herbo,
yeah, so
you know he's official.
They're gonna be winning a lot of games.
Yeah. What you get down
on a lot of games, yo. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden. But I wanted to kind of like piggyback on what you were talking about as far as getting down on it. I want to get down on the Las Vegas Aces.
Woo.
They've already lost the same amount of games that they lost all last year. Already.
Yeah, already.
A lot of injuries. Either Jackie Young was hurt. I think a couple other people were hurt. It's not as easy. The second go round isn't, or the third go round isn't.
Kind of three-peat.
I think that hopefully they'll get their momentum. I think that it's not used to seeing them this low in the standings right now. You know what I mean? But it's other teams,
like
just like the NBA. Yeah, they're I think fifth or sixth. You know, and then teams ahead of them that are serious. You know, you look at the Liberty.
Yeah.
Look at Connecticut.
Yeah.
Look at, Minnesota. You know what I mean? Look at Seattle.
Yeah.
These teams are about their business right now. For example, the Libs are 9-1 in their last 10. Connecticut's 7-3. Minnesota's 9-1.
Yeah.
Seattle's 7-3. You know what I mean? And you compare that, you look at Las Vegas, it's 5-5.
Now, do you think that's because the league is getting better?
I think it's some internal stuff. Because remember, they would be something being investigated. Because remember, they were
like the money.
Yeah. It's some other stuff that's going on out there in Las Vegas. You know what I mean? That's kind of like showing itself on the court in little ways. And what I mean by that, Browski, is that they got 6 losses already. They're 5-5 in their last 10. They were talking about running through the league, like, you know what I mean. They were just talking about early in the season, like the Aces were gonna spank everybody. You know what I mean? They were just waiting to see who they're gonna play in the finals, huh?
But what's crazy is that Angel Wilson, she's balling. Angel Wilson's like 25, like she's getting like 25 and 12 for like the last 5-6 games, maybe 10 games. Like she's balling. It's like everybody else is not catching up.
Yeah. I mean, again, with Jackie Young returning, maybe that'll add some firepower to what they're doing. But I just wanted to get down on them because I mean they were the team that everybody was talking about. Everybody was talking about the Aces, how they're going to run through the league, and nobody really talking about them. You know, everybody being quiet. They kind of like keeping it on the low. You know what I mean? They don't want to talk about the Las Vegas Aces like they don't want to talk about JJ Redick, the Lakers coach. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it is what it is. We're in the building. We're about to get up out of here. Down in Sports Talk. Respect it. We respect y'all. My man Win Walker, he's at another Piggly Wiggly opening. You know what I mean? He sends his regards. He's the icon. He could do that. Yadabear, you got any shout outs before we get up out of here?
I just want to give a shout out to my homie who actually made this t-shirt, Matrix Right. You know, he a lot of Philadelphia sports apparel. You can definitely check him out on Facebook under Exclusive Sports. So definitely shout out him for making this shirt. That's about it. Shout out to everybody in our Facebook group. Keeping it active. With the conversations. I love it. And that's about it.
All right, so we're in the building. We didn't want to talk about it because we was kind of keep it on under wraps or whatever. But we may be coming on a little bit more often. You might be seeing this mug right here. You might be seeing Browski's mug a little bit more often. But we behind the scenes, we talking about it, chopping it up, figure it out. And definitely by the time football season rolls around, you'll probably see us do a couple times a week or whatever. As long as y'all like it, We like y'all. You know what I mean? We do what we do. We try to keep it unique. Bring some humor and some enlightenment to the situation. And that's what we do. Down in Sports Talk. We in the building. Left-handed at RM Desk on Twitter, known as this. That's my Cody over there. Yadabear in the house. And don't go nowhere. We out. We'll talk to y'all next week. All right.
Yeah.
We got the All-Star game picks. Because remember, the first round of voting ends on the 27th, I think.
Yes.
So we got to get that out the way. We got to talk some football before Brosky leaves on vacation. So we got a lot of stuff coming up. Summertime vibes. Yep. Rock with us. We rock with y'all. We'll talk to y'all next week down in Sports Talk. Peace.
Peace.